Skydio 2. Finally a drone made in America. Got that coming up next. Last night on Rotor Talk Live, Marcus Crawford, Ron Braun, and I shared the exciting news that Skydio was taking deposits for the Skydio 2. We talked about the specs of the Skydio 2, the pricing of the Skydio 2, a unique guarantee about the Skydio 2, and where the Skydio 2 is made. So without any further ado, let's roll that clip in its entirety. Well, we're going to move on to the El Primo #1 subject. You know, it was like, I was thinking when the day began, oh, what are we going to talk about? And then I forgot GoPro Hero 8 came out today. Osmo Action came out with a major firmware update. And Skydio is now, you can now pre-order the Skydio 2, okay? Well, and then today we got some incredible information on that. And let's spend a few minutes to go over that. And then we're gonna talk about this in depth here. So let's go ahead and share the screen. All right. Now, you know, the first thing that I want to say, and I think this should strike everybody, you notice that the front propellers are on the bottom and the rear propellers are on the top. I mean, that was the very first thing that jumped out at me right away. I mean, it was just boom, right there. All right. Now, you know, we're gonna take a look at it. The Skydio 2 starts at $999. A controller and Skydio beacon can be bought for an additional $149 each. The company also, and this is huge. This is absolutely huge. The company also promises to repair or replace your lost or damaged drone for free as long as you fly within their safety guidelines. Designed and built right here in the USA with groundbreaking features and priced well below the ever more expensive DJI Mavic 2. Okay, we're gonna move on here. Obviously, there's some pictures, and I dropped a link to this article in the description so everybody could check that out. The battery being changed right here. Just some incredible, absolutely.
I have one comment.
Yes, sir.
Though I suspect that Brian at True Drone Reviews was the first one to hit the button this morning.
Really?
I just suspect. I can't say for certain.
You think so? I mean, this is, you know. Okay, we're going to take a look. I'm gonna roll this video because I think it's a good video to watch. So let's go ahead and watch this here.
Bill, is that your Phantom?
That's my Phantom. Not anymore.
Are those obstacle avoidance sensors on top there, the front propellers?
You said it's 360, Ron.
They're
Obstacle
cameras
avoidance all around.
And I suspect that that's the reason that they're inverted, and the reason they're doing the things is for camera placement. And I suspect that's the same reason that battery is on the bottom.
You're right.
They've got that 360 camera on the top.
And why those props are on the bottom and the front is probably to keep them out of the shot, no matter how wide you go.
Exactly.
I'm gonna like this. I don't have to fly anymore. I just the Skydio does it all for me. I just ride my motorcycle along.
That
little beacon sort of looks like my Insta360.
Yeah, it does.
I bet you can't use FPV goggles with this.
Probably not.
Probably not.
I'm just joking. I had no idea. No idea. Oh. Mark, is that your garage area they're flying in?
Close. That was my Anafi controller, though.
Bill, I pre-ordered the Skydio. They set the controller first. Yeah, I got the controller already. The drone's coming later. 12 megapixels, so we don't have a 20 megapixel sensor like the Parrot Anafi.
No, you know, one of the things that impressed me was, okay, it said that, and I need to go find the article here. And the article was actually from Skydio themselves. It talked about how those sensors, and I want to get the article up from Skydio themselves here. There we go.
I got mine too, Bill.
Okay.
Just put your hand over it. There you go. Now Marcus has it.
They sent me my controller for the Skydio.
All right, let's go ahead and share this here. Okay, just to get you some idea of some specs here. 4K 60 HDR camera, autonomous speed 36 miles an hour, battery 23 minutes, 50% quieter, 3-axis gimbal, range 3.5 kilometers.
Now, Bill, it's 50% quieter than what?
Yes, that's the question, Ron. I was just going to say that.
But Bill, there's your 4K 60 everybody wanted on the Mavic 2 Pro or Mavic 2 period.
Yes, sir. Now you got that. Okay, I want to stop here for a second, all right? And Ron, Marcus, and I all 100%. Okay, we have a strong suspicion that where they got this controller from is from Parrot, because it is 100% the one from the Parrot Anafi. I mean, just 100% spot on. Ron and Marcus already have their controllers for them.
It's just identical.
Right. I mean,
right down to the buttons, right down to where the logo is. It says,
the return to home icon's exactly the same.
Yeah, Skydio instead of Parrot. But so I don't know how you guys feel about it. I'm gonna get both that beacon and the controller. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna do the firmware update and make the Anafi controller work with it. It'll be like a smart controller. I'll be able to switch between drones. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, so what you're seeing right here is that NVIDIA processing cores. That's huge. So anybody that knows about artificial intelligence, NVIDIA is making the preeminent chip for AI, and that's what is in a lot of our video cards and our computers. And NVIDIA is at the very, very top of that game. So that's kind of interesting that I was happy to see that they were using NVIDIA chips.
I was going to say that, Marcus. And the other thing, and I wanted to talk about this, Better Eyes, see more with 6 4K navigation cameras, utilizing 45 megapixels of visual sensing from 6 200-degree color cameras. Skydio 2 can see everything in every direction with unprecedented resolution and clarity. This is the foundation of trustworthy autonomous flight. That excites the daylights out of me, because I mean, we're talking that there's no limits to what this drone can see. Like its field of vision is 360. I mean, truly 360. And the whole thing now, and you take a look here, and they do this Skydio 2 45 megapixels. The Mavic 2 they estimate 4.9, and they estimate 1.9 for the Mavic Air.
Hey, Bill, can I speak to that for just a second?
Yes, sir.
Well, so one of the things that you can kind of get a little confused about. So this looks bad, right? You're looking at the Mavic 2 and the Mavic Air, and I'm a fan of all these drones. So I don't, I like them all. But the Mavic 2 and the Mavic Air were not designed to do what the Skydio is designed for. So those kind of that can be a little bit misleading when you those kind of specs. I mean, I see what the point that they're making, but the Mavic 2 was never made to follow you through trees like,
what they're 100%, Marcus.
Yeah, I mean, what it's designed to do is not crash into the tree, not necessarily follow you all the way through it. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and that's a great point, because obviously, this is marketing right here. Right. They're wanting you to see, look at this compared to the Mavic 2 and Mavic Air. Well, now I will say this, I agree with you 100% on the Mavic 2. However, remembering that promo that they did for the Mavic Air, they had it, they really touted the obstacle, it being able to fly around, things like, I did a demo outside. I set up my garbage can and my recycle can, and I got it to where it flew through both of them. I was flying it straight at one. It went around one, and then it hopscotched over the other one. Okay. Now that
APAS, they called it.
Yeah, the
APAS.
Yeah, and it worked great. So I kind of see why they, why the Mavic Air may have been included here. But I agree with you 100% on the Mavic 2. That's not what that drone is for. Okay, we'll definitely agree. Now, talk about over here. It says at the heart of the Skydio 2 is the NVIDIA Jetson TX2, the fastest, most powered, efficient, embedded AI computing device available. 256 GPU cores capable of 1.3 trillion operations a second. Skydio 2 is a flying supercomputer.
Well, Bill, it's good if they gave the name Jetson.
Oh, absolutely.
I wonder if it'll make the noise, of the flying car.
I think it will.
Now, here's that comparison
video.
This
is a great video.
Oh, yeah, I absolutely love this, okay? Then you see the Skydio 2 is still going here, but the Mavic 2 has stopped because of all the trees and all the obstacles.
But I'm going to argue that the Mavic 2 did exactly what it was designed to do.
I agree with you 100%.
That's not to crash into the tree.
Exactly.
And that doesn't make the Skydio any less phenomenal. That's phenomenal what the Skydio is doing, but the Mavic 2 was never designed to do that.
I agree 100%. And
Marcus, was that you driving the quad in the video?
Well, I have to tell you, my quad would be a lot faster than that one.
Of course.
Okay. Straw poll time. Okay. And then now I want to get a straw poll from all those in the chat. How many of you have put a deposit down on the Skydio 2? Okay. Now, from the co-hosts, how many have put down a deposit on a Skydio 2? Okay.
All three of us.
All three of us did. Okay. Now, from everybody, how many new groups are there on the Skydio 2?
All three of us.
All three of us. And by the way, all of our groups are listed in the description. Please check them out and join these groups. I mean, we're going to put some great information up there.
Hey, Bill, so Mike Kinney makes an excellent point. And one of the things that I was really excited about the Skydio drone is it truly is an American drone. Not only is it designed here, it's built here. And that, to me, that's a big deal.
I agree 100%. I think, this is finally, we're getting something that what people have been asking for. And that's why I put this in the title, Skydio 2 red, white, and blue. We're finally seeing something made here in the United States by Americans, and it's made here in the United States by Americans, and it has some absolute cutting edge technology in this. And you know what? It's a cool looking drone. Okay. It doesn't look like the JJRC crap. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm going to knock on JJRC for a second. Okay. It's not a golden egg. Okay. We're not going to have a walk of shame with this kind of drone here. Okay. This is the kind of drone that is going to get you some incredible cinematic shots. Absolutely fantastic. It's going to, for lack of a better term, this follow me feature with that wand, it's going to be incredible. It's like, okay, put that wand in your pocket and do what you're going to do. If you're riding a bike or, if you're taking a nice walk and the drone's just following you around, you don't have a controller. You don't have your iPad, your phone or your tablet or anything. Okay. It's doing what it's going to do. I mean, that just blows me away. And I think one of the things that I think they really hit a home run on, guys, and I want to get your opinion on this, is the price. What do you guys think about that?
Well, I perfectly agree. While everybody else's prices are skyrocketing, not just DJI's, but also, sorry, I got some kind of low-flying plane out here. But also, Alltel's prices rose during the tariffs. Somehow, because it's all made in the U.S., Skydio came at that $9.99 price point that people were trained for. So I mean, I know the controller is another $150, but each controller is another $150, and that's going to push it up, but still makes it the best bargain in town.
For what you get, Ron. Yeah, no, I agree, Ron. You make great points. For what you get. Here's what I'll say. I think it's appropriately priced. It's not like a screaming super bargain, but yet it's not overpriced either. And what we all know is we're going to buy at least one. And in my case, I'm going to buy both of those controllers because I think the beacon is going to be important as well. But we're also probably going to buy a couple of batteries, right? I mean, we will.
Right.
So that's going to put us at about $1,500, I'll bet you, by the time we're all said and done.
Hey, Marcus, you make a great point. If you don't care about the follow me stuff, if you don't surf and do extreme sports or whatever, you don't care about the follow surf. Yeah, the $999 isn't a bargain. It's just a decent price. But if you do care about that, coming at that $999 price, getting that incredible following avoidance technique, that's a bargain, I think, at that price, if that's what you're looking for, because you can't find that anyplace else. I mean, even if you get the Mavic 2 Pro, all you have is something that won't crash. You want something that follows you through the stuff you need to go through. So you're right for you and I, because you and I probably aren't going to do extreme sports with it, but the extreme sports people out there, it's more of a bargain for them than us. Bill, what do you have to think on that?
Yeah, I kind of agree with you on that, but also too, I think we need to remember about this camera. It's a 4K 60 and with a 3-axis gimbal, and that's something I think we've been waiting to see on another drone for a long time. I mean, really, if you really want to go back to it, everybody, was thinking that the Mavic 2 was going to have it when they came out with it, and it didn't. And everybody's like, but you take a look at, it was the Phantom 4 Pro was the last one to do this. Now, Ethan made a point with that controller. I'm pretty sure it's Wi-Fi connection as well. At that price point, you can get the Evo, which has a better connection. Okay. So yeah, that's something to be determined. We don't know what that is, Ethan, but you probably are right as far as the connection is concerned.
Hey, Bill, so what he's talking about, I have a theory about what he's talking about, why they didn't make it folding. I suspect it has to do, I'm sorry, I interrupted you. I apologize.
No, go ahead. Absolutely.
I suspect it has to do with the 360 cameras and the way they had to mount them on the legs there. And I'm quite sure that that's why it's not folding, because right, they're kind of going for the action sports group, which would make, they would really want something that folds. So there probably had to be a good reason that they didn't do it. And that's my guess. So that's just a guess.
Well, Ethan brought up, and on my mind, I had brain fog here. The Evo has 4K 62. So, but and the Evo has, Brian just said the Evo has miles of range. It's a good, it does have good range, and they are right about that. And but I think one of the points, and I think we can't drive this home enough, is that this is going to be made here in the United States by Americans. Okay. And I think this is, you can't underemphasize this enough, I think, in my opinion, because to support our economy, I've been very pro Autel Evo. I don't have one myself. Would I like to get one? Absolutely. Have I flown it? Yes, I absolutely think it's a great drone. But while it's an American company, it's made over in China. Okay. It's not made here in the United States. However, Skydio, it's an American company. The Skydio 2 will be made here in the United States. And also to remember the Skydio 1, if you want to call it that, its price point was $2,700. Okay. So, we're in an atmosphere where, number one, this price point is very doable for a lot of people, as far as the range is concerned, as far as the price is concerned. And I think what Skydio did, I really like what they did, and being able, for example, when Unique came out with the latest Manus, all right, you had to pay, you had to pre-order, you had to pay the full amount, was $599, $699 right away. Okay. Here, they're having you put a $100 refundable deposit down. Okay. I think that that's absolutely fantastic. And then also, too, Mitch brings up a great point. Okay, the warranty on this Skydio 2. Okay, who has a warranty like this? You know, if you're following their safety rules, all right, they'll repair or replace it for free. Okay, for free.
Did he say free?
Free.
With a capital
That's a big deal.
With a capital F. Free. Like no cost to you at all. Now, you know,
hey, Bill, I don't want to catch up, but I don't want you to get too far away. You had mentioned the Autel Evo, and I know it has a lot of sensors on it, but how does the Autel Evo's optical avoidance and I know they can't call it APAS, but how does that compare with the DJI products? Is it better? Is it not as good? Is it similar? Do you have an idea? I know you've never flown it, but
it's not. I'm sorry, Ron. It's definitely not as good. It doesn't have any back in the back at all. So if you're backing the drone up, it's like you better be watching where you're going because you might hit something with that. All right. You know, that's one of the things that people pointed out right away when the Evo came out is it has no rear facing obstacle avoidance as far as that's concerned.
Okay, so if I'm an extreme sports guy, a snowboarder, a surfer, or whatever, the Evo's not really for me then.
Probably not, but I've seen them do like follow me's with boats. I know Original Dobo, Ken Dono, he did that with the Evo and it looked really good. And they finally got it to where you can launch them from a boat. They did a firmware update where you could do boat launching. You used to not be able to do that from a moving boat, but now you can do that. They put that in the Evo with a firmware update. But I think for an action kind of a drone, I think this is going to be fantastic. And I think too, also, you know, for this, you know, again, you know, this warranty on this. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but you know, if I'm following the rules and if it breaks, you know, boom. I mean, you know, I'm going to get a new
That's
one.
cool.
Yeah, but of course, I mean, the warranty is great, but it'll be great once we test it. Once the first person calls up and somebody actually picks the phone up at Skydio and honors the warranty. We've seen other warranties given out that weren't, you know, where the customer service wasn't what it should have been. So, I mean, I'm not saying it won't be at Skydio, but that'll have to be tested.
Well, Cold War Television brings up, I think it's definitely competition for the Mavic 2. I think DJI will lower prices on their drones. And I think, too, he brings up a real good point, and this is something else that I wanted to touch on tonight before we close shop here is, all right, you know, the talk had been, you know, and I have a video coming out later this week, and I won't spoil it too much, but, you know, we're talking about the small drone that we've seen pictures of with DJI and coming out by the end of this year and everything. Well, you know, is something like this announcement from Skydio, is this going to push DJI to do something sooner? It might. There's a real good opportunity that it might do that. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
Well, Bill, first of all, I want to interject. You forgot to mention there was another 4K 60 drone released since the last show. The unique Typhoon V20 Plus or whatever it's called with a Leica. Leica is one of the, just like Hasselblad, one of the premier boutique camera companies in the world, is now partnered with Unique. Now, Unique had 460 before they partnered with Leica, and we're kind of halfway joking because we've talked about this off air, and the Typhoon's ginormous, and it has battery and range limitations and whatever. So, but I don't want to segue off too much, but I think the Mavic Mini, it better not be priced at $999 now. You know what I mean? If it comes out and the price is $999, it may be in trouble.
Yeah. Marcus better hope that stock report looks good and that he's getting money through his account.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'll tell you, I'm going to do just fine, Bill, because I own a ton of NVIDIA stock.
There you go. Okay. We'll see. Go ahead.
Well, Marcus was doing fine unless Skydio falls out of the sky like the what was the GoPro drone?
That's true.
GoPro Karma, yeah.
And you know, that's a good point, Ron. Seriously.
If it falls out of the sky, Marcus will only be able to afford a JJRC Aurora after that.
Hey, all kidding aside, let me tell you, that is a concern that I have, is that battery on the bottom. Let's hope that they have a really good way of securing that thing on there, because it is a bottom battery.
It was another famous drone with the batteries on the bottom and fell off. Was that the GoPro? Was that the Karma that had that problem?
Well, the Spark as well. The Spark
And the Spark early on had that issue. I'll be dropping a link in the description for you to check out Skydio and their website. And if you're interested in pre-ordering, they are taking reservations for $100 a piece right now at this point in time. Question of the day: will you be pre-ordering a Skydio 2? Let me know in the comments section below. If you like the content from today's video, please make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and tell others about the channel. Also be sure to check out my Facebook page, where I do post daily updates regarding the drone and drone industry and anything DJI, Autel, or Parrot related. Also be sure to check out my Twitter account, where I do post daily updates, and Instagram as well. Thanks so much for watching, and remember, it's a great day to fly.